love. The most powerful emotion known to humankind. It has inspired poetry, art, wars, and revolutions. It's the foundation of our families, our friendships, our very existence. But what if I told you that love isn't real? What if love, your deepest feelings, your strongest desires, is nothing more than a biological trick, a chemical illusion designed to control you? Tonight, we're peeling back the layers of human emotion to ask one unsettling question. Is love just a chemical reaction? Or is there something more? Welcome to Mystery Shack, where reality is questioned and the unexplained comes to life. If you crave mind-bending theories, eerie mysteries, and stories that challenge everything you know, you're in the right place. Subscribe, and let's uncover the unknown together. Let's start with the science. When you feel love, your brain releases a cocktail of chemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin. Dopamine, their reward chemical, gives you that rush, that euphoria of falling in love. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, creates attachment, making you feel connected to your partner. And serotonin? It clouds your judgment, making you obsess over your love interest, ignoring their flaws. In a way, love functions like a drug. It manipulates your brain's reward system in the same way cocaine does. That feeling of butterflies in your stomach? That's just adrenaline and cortisol pumping through your body. So, if love is just chemical stimulation, is it really real? Or are we simply prisoners of our own biology? But why would nature design us this way? The answer is simple: survival. Love wasn't created for happiness. It was created for reproduction. Our ancestors who formed strong emotional bonds had a higher chance of keeping their offspring alive. Love made sure that humans stayed together long enough to raise children, ensuring the survival of our species. And when love no longer served its purpose, it faded. That's why passion burned so intensely in the beginning, only to fizzle out over time. Studies show that romantic love, at its peak, lasts around 12 to 18 months before those brain chemicals start to wear off. What we call true love might just be a glorified survival mechanism. Both love and addiction activate the brain's reward center. Both create withdrawal symptoms when taken away. That heartbreak you feel after a breakup, that's your brain going through withdrawal, just like a drug addict being cut off from their supply. Brain scans of people in love and drug addicts show almost identical activity. In fact, research suggests that intense romantic rejection activates the same brain regions associated with physical pain. Love isn't just an emotion, it's a high. And just like any high, it can destroy you. Here's something strange. Love isn't universal. In some cultures, romantic love wasn't even considered necessary for marriage. Ancient societies viewed love as irrational, even dangerous. Historically, marriage was about survival, alliances, and economic security. Love? That was optional. It wasn't until recent centuries that we started idolizing love as the ultimate goal. But if love was truly an innate part of human nature, why did so many civilizations function without it? If love is so beautiful, why does it cause so much pain? Jealousy, obsession, betrayal, these are all byproducts of love. People kill for love. People ruin their lives for love. if love was truly this perfect, pure force, why does it lead to some of humanity's worst behaviors? Toxic relationships often stem from intense love. The very chemicals that make us feel euphoria also make us irrational. We ignore red flags. We justify abuse. We chase after people who hurt us because our brains are chemically wired to crave love, even when it's destroying us. What we call love is often just a mix of lust and emotional dependence. Studies show that people confuse sexual attraction with emotional connection all the time. The body craves physical intimacy, and in response, the brain releases a cocktail of chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, tricking us into believing we love the person providing it. But here's the twist. Society reinforces this illusion. From childhood, we're conditioned to see love as the ultimate goal. Fairy tales tell us that love is magical, that it conquers all. Romantic movies show us grand gestures and soulmates. Love songs make it seem like we're incomplete without the one. This constant exposure wires our brains to associate love with fulfillment, happiness, and even self-worth. But what if love is just a script we've been taught to follow? What if it's not real, but rather a learned behavior? Think about it. Throughout history, different cultures have defined love in wildly different ways. In some societies, love wasn't even considered necessary for marriage. And today, science shows that arranged marriages often result in just as much, if not more, long-term satisfaction than romantic ones. So, is love truly this powerful force, or just a social construct we've been conditioned to chase? And if that's the case, if love isn't real in the way we think it is, what does that mean for relationships, for heartbreak, for everything we thought we knew? But before we dismiss love entirely, consider this. Even if love is just a chemical reaction, does that make it any less real? After all, every emotion we experience, happiness, fear, sadness, can be traced back to biological responses. When we feel joy, it's just a flood of dopamine. When we're afraid, it's adrenaline and cortisol kicking in. But does knowing that make those emotions any less intense, any less meaningful? Love might not be magical, but it's deeply embedded in the human experience. It's what bonds parents to children, what drives people to make sacrifices, what fuels some of the greatest works of art, music, and literature in history. Entire civilizations have been shaped by love, wars fought, alliances formed, lives changed forever. If love were just a fleeting illusion, why would it hold such power over humanity? And here's something to think about. Does something need to be objectively real to have value? A dream isn't real, but it can still change the way we think. A story isn't real, but it can still move us to tears. Even if love is nothing more than a programmed biological response, it still connects us, drives us, and sometimes even destroys us. So maybe the question isn't just whether love is real. Maybe the real question is, do we need it to be? If love is an illusion, is it one we're willing to live with? Or does the truth change the way we see everything? So, is love real? If you define it as a cosmic force that binds souls together, the answer is probably no. But if you define it as an intricate blend of psychology, biology, and social conditioning, then yes, love is very real. It's just not what we've always believed it to be. But what do you think? Is love an illusion? Or is there something deeper we still don't understand? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more mind-bending discussions. Until next time, stay curious.